Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So, we have 4 eggs in the carton and we painted 4 eggs. This is the fourth one and it's a very simple design and it only uses black paint by DecoArt, which is the base coat, and white paint by DecoArt, which is what we use for the design. And that's it. There's no color on this. I do add some soft glittering top coat to the insides of the petals, and I do add some gems at the end. So stick around for that. But this is a very quick and simple, easy design to do. And I'm really excited about what you think of the final product. So basically all I'm doing is I'm using a round brush and I'm loading it with white paint, and I am just very uh, sloppy kind of paint that I'm using or doing. Like, I'm not being particular about where the design is. As long as it looks like a flower, that's all I'm really caring about. I just paint on a little circle and then 5 petals coming out of that little circle. And now what I'm doing is I'm just adding some, almost like we'll call them quiver marks because I really don't know what else to describe them as. But this here, I'll show you again. I do this a number of times. So I paint on a little circle and then I use the paintbrush to draw on the petals, and I do 5 of them, and they're different sizes. They're not in any way symmetrical. This is all freehand. I didn't pre-draw. I just basically let what I saw in my mind run down through my arm into the paintbrush and then apply the design onto the egg. That's it. Very, very simple. I add these little dividers, I guess, or like creases within each of the petals. And then I go on the outside and I add these little, what I'm going to call quiver marks. It's not to make it look like it's quivering, it's more of to make it look like a sketch rather than a really perfect flower. So I do a number of these all the way around the egg. Again, these are the plastic eggs that I purchased from Michael's when they were having their end of season sale, I guess, where you buy one, get one. So I do have a number of these eggs that are still wrapped in their package, ready for painting. And I will keep them around for maybe next year. I did do some other ones that I didn't record because I wanted to do some really intricate designs. I wanted them to look like Pasenki eggs. And I do apologize if I brutalized the name of that. I'm being totally English here and saying it the way that it's spelt. So I do apologize. If someone does know how to say it properly, please forgive me for butchering it. I really do apologize. It's not my intention. So as I do this design, just by plopping on these flowers all over the place, I found that it was getting harder and harder to find a good place to hold on to this egg. Although it is fairly big and easy to hold in my hand, it's about 4 inches from top to bottom. I do find that I get a little bit of paint on my hands, and I mean, I always do. I'm not really into my painting if I'm not getting paint on my hands. So that's just the way it is, and you can say that I get into my paintings a little bit too much maybe, but it is what it is, and I'm totally okay with that. So as I add in these flowers, some of the petals are pretty thick. Some of my outlining is pretty thick, or maybe it's too thin, or they're touching, or there's all sorts of different things that are going on. So what I do after all this white paint is dry, I do go in with my fine lining brush and some black paint, and I thin out those lines, and I give it a little bit more shape, more character. I make the sketch parts a little bit more pronounced. And I separate a lot of this. And I will show you that, but not the entire egg, just a few of the flowers because it was a long process. And I certainly don't want to bore you with every single one of them. I just want to show you a couple so you know what it is that I'm doing. So you'll see in a moment too that I got some paint on my baby finger, and look at that. I reapplied it. So what I do with that is I go with it instead of trying to erase it, which I could have painted over with black paint. I'm going to make another little tiny flower with a stem that's a curlicue. And I do fix this up too with some black paint after it's dry. But these are really nice to add in between all of the bigger flowers, as well as I add some of these little tiny flowers. This one kind of reminds me of a butterfly, but it's a flower. And then I also add just some little white dots in different sizes, just to fill in a little bit more of the blackness of this egg, just to give it a little bit more of a design feature. And that's basically all I did. So it was very fun to do, using only one color, I guess. Well, white's not really a color, it's more of a hue, or something to be used to make other paints lighter. But yeah, I just went with it. Whatever I felt like, if there was a spot that I felt needed a little bit more, or maybe just to break up the blackness a little bit. This one I put two curlicues on. Woo! But let me know what you think. Leave me a comment below and tell me what you think of just doing this in black and white. If you like it, simplest way is to give me the thumbs up. And if you're new, welcome. And I urge you to subscribe. I have lots of videos to choose from to view right now, and always more to come. And make sure you ring that little notification bell, because that will let you know when I do post something new, and you can be one of the first ones to have it up on your screen. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know. So now it's all dry, and now I'm going to go in and do some touch-ups and fix this all up, make these guys look like little flowers, and then clean up a lot of the sketch marks. That's what I'm going to call them. It's just sketch marks because I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I wanted this to look really free and easy. So that's why I'm going in and I'm sort of thinning out some of the thicker white lines and making this look really kind of like a sketch. Like a doodle maybe. That's it. It's a doodle. It's a doodle flower. So I'm just cleaning it up a little bit so that there's not a lot of big white blotches, and it really shows that, like, if you're doodling with a pen or a pencil, you don't always hit the paper when you're doodling, or it's just sort of all over the place and you go over it once, twice, three times over the same shape, but it never follows the same line. You get the idea. That's what I'm trying to mimic here, but in a more controlled way, I guess. I really like how it turned out. I'm very, very pleased with it. Being my last egg that I did out of the batch of 4, I feel like even though it was not very colorful, I find that it's one of the most elegant ones that I've done, and would look really great as an Easter decoration, as a centerpiece, or maybe you could use it in a basket of those colorful eggs that you can buy from the dollar store. But this one's sort of in the center because it's so different from all the rest of them. Then, I don't know, the possibilities are endless. up to your imagination how you would want to use this. I personally would display it on a little egg stand. And I do that in the photos at the end. So make sure you stick around for that. Um, I'm now just sort of sharpening up these little flowers, making sure that the curly cues there, it looks 3D so that there's a little bit going behind it. And the simplest way to do that is just by painting on the lines. So one side of it is following over top and then the other one sort of goes in behind. So I don't know if I've explained that very well, but I think I might show another one on how I do that. So stick around for that. Um, I also go in a little bit later with a dotting tool to add in some black dots in the center. Oh, look, I'm doing it now. So I put them in the center of some of those bigger white dots. I put them in the center of the flowers because I'm really wanting to make this a nice round section because the little gems that I put on, they're actually for nails, but I like putting them on my rocks and onto these eggs just to dazzle them up a little bit. Um, and they look so, so pretty when they are in like different types of light and they just glitter so nice. You'll see that at the end as well. Um, that's all I'm doing is just putting these on with my dotting stylist. I also used a tool from the Dotting Center for the center of my flowers because they're bigger than what a dotting tool would do. And now I am putting on this, it's by DecoArt. It's called Soft Glittering Top Coat. I actually do two coats because the first coat that I put on very thin and I didn't like that there wasn't enough glitter on there for me. Sorry, folks, but if you liked it with minimal glitter, then stop it here. This is where you would stop with your one coat and that's it. Move on to the next step. Me, on the other hand, I love glitter. Anything that glitters just draws my attention, and I found there wasn't enough. So, excuse me, I do another coat of this. And the second coat that I put on there is like really thick. So, it's what I should have done in the first place, but I guess I thought the one coat would be enough with the glitter. But it wasn't, not for me, so I added more. I do show you that after this dries, which actually I was quite surprised. This doesn't take long to dry. Well, it did when I put the thick coat on, but the thin coat, not so much. It dried pretty quick. By the time I was done painting all of the flowers, the first flower that I had painted had dried. So it doesn't take long to dry at all. And because this is a top coat, it's kind of like a sealer as well. So it kind of sealed in that glitter that's on those petals. So then when I put on my polyurethane coat, it didn't move. So it just stayed put where I put it. I also use triple thick to glue my little gems on. And I've done this in the past. If you've seen any of my rocks that I've done where I've put these little glitter gemstones on. They're actually for nails, but I don't do a lot of stuff with my nails. I might throw a coat of paint on them every once in a while, but that's about it. But yeah, so as you can see, those ones there are basically dry, and those were the first flowers that I did. So I was just sort of touching them up a bit there, but now it's dry. There's not enough glitter on there, so I put even more on. But yeah, so the little glitter thingies that I use, or sorry, the gemstones that I use, they're for nails, but they were gifted to me by Gel Moment, my good friend who is a consultant there. She gave these to me to try out on my rocks and on my eggs. So I am putting them on, and like I said, I use triple thick as my glue. Triple thick is just another clear coat that you can use. but I love it for putting on my little gems. They're so, so tiny. They're, well, like I said, they're meant for your nails, so they're very, very small. Um, and I will be getting to that very, very shortly. So I'm just, you can see that I'm just dabbing the paint on, like just loading it up because I really want some good, good glitter shine when this is all dry. So I even put some on some of my dots so that when it does turn in the light, you can see it in different spots other than just the petals of the big flowers. So I really liked how it turned out. It was very, very pretty and very happy with it. So let me know if you're going to try it. I'd be interested to know if this is a design that you would like to try. You don't have to do it on an egg either. You can do this on a rock. You can do it on canvas. You can do it on a piece of paper, whatever you wish. It's totally up to you. So now I'm going to put on those little gems. So I'm using my small dotting stylist, and I'm putting on some of that triple thick, and then I'm using my little, I don't know, gem grabber, and I'm putting those on, and it's finished. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.